listening to the Betmaker Show. This is the PGA Players Championship Betting Odds Preview for Monday, March 9th, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Betmaker Show, Brian Blessing.
All right, here we go talking golf. One of the big boys. It's the Players Championship. Love the new schedule. It's going to be terrific. The quote-unquote fifth major, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Cam Stewart hanging out up in Mississauga, and we're ready to tee it up here. I will tell you, Cam, last week we were all over it. Said Im's going to come back, play well. Said watch out for Hatton. The one thing I will tell you, I got a future bet on Hatton for the Masters after he won the Turkish Open at 150-1. After yesterday's win, he drops to 80-1 for the Masters. So talk about getting the best of the number. That's a good thing. But, man, he's in good form. But I got to tell you, that Florida swing, hats off to him. These last 2 weeks, those were like majors and making those guys work. That was great to watch.
Yeah, it's the best. I'm sick. I told you, I'm sick and tired of seeing guys at 30-1 in these, 30 under, 35. It's ridiculous. No, the Florida swing is the best tournament. They brought so many guys in. You post a number, you got a chance to win. I was actually thinking DeChambeau had a chance there, Brian.
Yeah.
When he got in at -1. That's the way golf should be played. I know the players don't like it that way, but if you're a true fan of the game, that's the way you want to like it. I'm sick and tired of guys going low and just destroying courses all the time. This is real golf. You got to learn how to play in the wind, water on holes. I like it. And honestly, this is becoming my favorite. I used to like California. I'm not a real big fan of it now. It's just one of those things. I'm like, sorry, California. Florida swings for me. The way these two tournaments played out, this is the way it could be, buddy. I hope the Players is the same way.
All right, Rory McIlroy 7-1, Cam. He's a top 5 machine, but boy, he spit the bit on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the thing. How do you take Rory, right? He's there. Sure, he'll eat up par 5s, but I don't know what he's going to do on Sunday. And when things go bad, they really go bad. Brian, he's got like a double bogey in that portfolio for sure. I don't know, man. 7-1, it's a good price. And, I think Rory's going to be there in the Masters. I think this could be the year, but you know what I mean? Like Rahm at 12, Thomas at 14. There's other guys to look at, right?
Let's not go any further than Rahm.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you this, because I don't, me, I don't step up to the plate on stuff like this. But if you remember, now, I'm 99% sure, I know you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was last year, could have been the year before, but wasn't Rahm like an inch away from running away with this thing last year? And he got to number 11, the par 5. It's that dogleg leftover water, and he's lining up to hit the shot. And the announcers, everybody, and his caddy is begging him, "Don't hit this. Hit a layup." And Jackass hit it in the water, and then he blew a gasket, and he imploded. But Rahm was like a whisker away from running away and winning that thing for fun. I'm absolutely playing Jon Rahm in this tournament. I think I would be stupefied if this guy's not a top 5 player this week.
Oh, I agree. Jon Rahm is just every time he suits it up. No, he's got game. You said it though, Brian. I've seen a couple times where he's had arguments with his caddy, and he always wins the argument, right? Player over caddy when push comes to shove. But
yeah, but then he turned around and blamed the caddy.
I know he does.
The caddy's like, "Don't do it." He did it, and then he blamed the caddy.
That's Jon Rahm. He did the same thing in Mexico to the guy too. I remember the caddy tells you not to do it. You screw up, and then you yell at the caddy. It's like, okay, John, like, settle down, buddy. Settle down. We know you're a powder keg. No, he doesn't listen. That's the thing. But I got to believe as he's getting older, he is going to listen. And at 12-1, I'd actually rather have Jon Rahm at 12-1 than Rory, because I believe he can close better there, Brian. That's the thing.
All right, JT's at 14-1, DeChambeau 22, Dustin Johnson 25, Tommy Fleetwood 25, Webb Simpson's 28. I'll stop right here. Im was in it with a chance to win it, and a 3-putt late in the tournament kind of derailed him, but he hits the clutch shot over the water, and he leaves the putt short. But, Im was right there again with a chance to win. Current form, this guy's sick.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at him against other guys down on the list, and I'm like, I trust him. Him is one, and I know he a couple bad things happened last week, but he could have won again. And that's the thing, Brian. This guy looks so damn good, and he looks so comfortable now. It's getting to be a little bit scary. I'll tell you, Im's going to make the card for sure. Like, look where he's priced around. The same guys. Where are they? Like, Patrick Cantlay hasn't played since he's having some kind of surgery. Hideki Matsuyama, love him to bits, but he's not going to be like him. He never closes the door. Schauffele last week finished around 20th, 25th, like 20 to 25 range. So Im is a guy that's won and been like right there again. So how do you not take him? It's actually a good price for the guy in his current form.
All right. By the way, we bemoan the fact of what happens in these golf tournaments. I'm telling you, Friday, you talk about the worst, Cam. I do a for giggles, but it was paying sweet, a 4-team matchup parlay for the tournament. And I've got 2 of them that are in, like before the cut. I mean, it's over. I had Fowler versus Koepka, and Fowler had like a 7 or 8 shot cushion. And the only one that remained was Justin Rose against Henrik Stenson. Starting Friday, he had a 5-shot lead. It comes to 18. He has to par 18 to win the 4-teamer, bogey 18 to turn the 4-teamer into a 3-teamer. Jackass misses the fairway, hits it over the green, has to chip it in, chips it down, knows he misses the cut, puts it up a 1.5 feet from the hole, walks up, slaps it, and misses it, and loses the match. I literally wanted to drive to Florida and give this guy his own crimpet. I was so, oh my God. I mean, I don't get mad.
I'm used to bad beats. So, I'm with you. That's the thing. You rarely get mad anymore, but that stuff just pisses you off. And you know what it always happens to, Brian? It always happens to good guys, right? Like the good golfers who have the money, right? Because
he quit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I got money. Don't worry about it. I missed the cut. Yeah, who cares? That's the thing. A lot of the other guys, they'll come through and try not to quit on you.
All right, thank you. That was therapeutic. Matsuyama, can't trust him. Schauffele,
meh. I kind of like him, but we're like he finished this tournament. Where was he? I think 3 over. It's not bad, really, when you think about it, Brian. But I'm just saying, like, where's the Xander Schauffele that's breaking through? Where's the guy?
Not right now.
There's something missing.
You know who I think has a big shot is Adam Scott.
I agree.
He ball strike former winner here. It was his, to date his biggest win ever, and then he went and won the Masters. But ball striking wise, and he's figured out the putting. I'd have to absolutely. You give me a matchup, Scott versus Koepka, I'm all in. I would use Scott in matchups all over the place.
I agree.
Reed, Fireball. Funny.
He plays well here too, doesn't he?
Does he?
I don't know. I think he plays well everywhere.
He plays well everywhere. That's fair. Fowler, geez, come on. Ricky Fowler, 35-1. Come on.
No.
Patton's 45. He's in good form. Leishman's the windier. If it's windy, you play Leishman all day long. He is one of the best wind players on the planet. You know what? Mark it down. Leishman for the British Open. I'll tell you that right now.
I agree with that 100%. Great call. And you're praying for weather there with Leishman. You're right. Low ball flight, everything. Those Aussies. That's the thing, isn't it? Isn't it ironic? We mentioned 2 Aussies, Leishman and Scott. Both, they can handle, especially Leishman. He's one of the best wind players in the world. He's been there. Remember that British Open too? Wasn't he with Louis and Zach Johnson there? So no, Leishman.
Well, the crazy thing was in that it was a 3-man playoff, right?
Yep.
It was Louis, Leishman. Who was the third guy?
Zach Johnson.
That's right. And I always play Louis, and I had Zach Johnson. That tournament, I had Zach Johnson at 120-1, I think he was. And I had Louis, who was in the 60-1 range. And I'm sitting there going, if Mark Leishman wins this playoff, I would have driven off a cliff. I had two guys in the 3-man playoff, and thankfully, it's a story I can tell because I wouldn't be here if it didn't work out.
Yeah, I think we had the same guys. I remember that. It was pretty crazy. What do we do with Morikawa this week, Brian? He's sniffing.
Yeah. I bet him yesterday morning.
He just can't get over the hump. It's like he gets close. And then
he's like him. He's like him. He's like him. He has the one bad hole.
Yes.
I don't know that this is the event for him yet. I mean, I think he's going to win, but he's going to win like the Shell Open or something like that. I don't know this thing. But yeah, I'm going to give you a guy. I've got futures in the Masters on Hatton and Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick had a great round Sunday.
Yes, he did.
Went out real early. Did it end up that it was only two or three guys ended up under par, and Fitzpatrick was one of them. And I'm telling you, a lot of times when guys have that great Sunday, they figure something out and it bleeds into the next week. So I think Matthew Fitzpatrick at 60-1 is going to be on my docket here.
Yeah, I like another guy at 60. What about Paul Casey, Brian? Does he have the game for this type of course at 60-1? I think he does. He's playing pretty good. His putting is always a concern, though. If he can't get that putter going, it doesn't matter how well he's ball striking. Other guys that I'd look at, another crazy one. If you want to talk about bombs, Joel Damon finished well. Didn't he go nuts for finishing even par? I remember at the end, I go, wow, Joel Damon played pretty well. I'm not sure if he's going to win the Players, but at 100-1, he might be good in some matchup bets and maybe a top 10 or a top 20.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website at betmaker.com. We got grenades out there, pal. There's a handful of grenades. I know Poulter's played well here in the past. He unraveled this past week. I'm really disappointed how he unraveled, but he may have just seen the conditions and said, I'm just getting off the TPC. But the guy, and a lot of these guys, they were showing yesterday in the final round, a lot of these guys were already there practicing.
Yep. No, yeah. You saw Phil roll in. All those guys were rolling in.
Yep. If you remember, let's see how your memory is. It's not a pop quiz. I mean, you get a cookie if you get it right.
Do I get a cookie?
remember when Fowler, the remarkable comeback and then the playoff and everything? You remember who he beat?
Sergio?
No. Kevin Kisner.
Kisner? Yeah, it was Kisner. That's right, Kisner. And I remember Keimer. I always think of Keimer there. Kisner.
How about Kisner at 125-1?
Form's not very good, but at that price, maybe the beautiful thing about golf is you get horses for courses. Some guys like coming back to a place that's familiar and nice. And Kevin Kisner, pretty good memories there. At least he cashed some big paychecks. He should have won. Yeah, that's a really, really nice price. Brian, what do you think about Eric Von Rooyen at 140-1? Do you think he can handle it or no? That's not a bad price for a guy that's pretty decent golfer who played well before.
No, that I'm on board with that. But I got to tell you, talk about had it happened, boy, would I have been better, because we were all over this thing last week. But 2 weeks ago, I forgot all about it, and it is scarred. I don't need a reminder. It's like burned into my memory banks. How is Sung Kang 150-1? And, oh, by the way, if you remember, we spotted this. And when I saw the guy yesterday, I'm going, you dumbass. That Sung Kang, his jockey, or his
caddy
is Zach Johnson's old caddy. And don't sleep on the caddy. And I'm telling you, this Sung Kang is going to win a tournament. And he's going to win a tournament soon. And that guy's he was clutch all over the place yesterday. And he's played great 2 of the last 3 weeks. How is Sung Kang 150-1 and Justin Rose 60-1? Justin Rose was playing military golf.
Yeah, that's the thing. Justin Rose has been lucky for a while. I've been watching him. Like, his short game has saved his ass so many times. I'm with you. Sung Kang's been awesome. We talked about Sung Kang almost like for the last 3 weeks.
I know.
I think it's been fantastic. Mizoutenhout, he played well this week. He's 175-1. And I got another one for you. Is he back? Well, I could tell you one thing. He looked pretty damn good this week. Danny Lee at 175-1. Those are guys that I would look at instead of, you talk about it, Brian, the pedigree, the big name guys. Like some of these guys, and crazy things have happened at the Players before.
And I'm looking, if you remember, I'm doing way down. I don't even know if he's in the thing, but I'll just throw it out. that you can throw bombs out there and have a shot because of the high risk, high reward nature of this thing. And there's always a guy. Who's the dude? Oh, come on, Perks. Never won in his life. Yeah, never won in his life and won this thing. And if you remember the one year, Eddie Pepperell went out and got gas canned. Remember that? He destroyed himself. You could a lot. But he comes out on site. He went out and he was so bad. I mean, he went out and he destroyed himself. He walked up to the first tee on Sunday morning. You could have blinded him with a dental floss, and he shot like a 63 or something, and he almost won the damn thing.
Yeah, no, Brian, I know this is pure your style. I'm looking at a guy that's actually like kind of creeping back into form, who has played here before, but no one will take him. Jason Duffner is 350 to 1.
His thing, he's going to hit the green. Can he make a 4-footer?
That's the problem. But I'm just saying he's getting it back on track a little bit. Like, you're right. Like some crazy guys at 3. Like, look at the prices of some of these guys.
I'll throw another one at you. Well, Jesus, I mean, this goofball, Charlie Hoffman at 250 to 1, he can show up. But how about Brendan Todd? He was in contention in this tournament.
Yeah, that's a good call, Brian. Brendan Todd.
He got eaten alive by the conditions on Sunday, but they were talking to him, and somebody, whatever they said, the guy chatted with him, Todd said, my game's great. My game is great right now. That course, you missed the fairway there. You were in trouble. He just the wind and everything. But ball striking, Brendan Todd should be 80 to 1, not 250 to 1.
Yeah, and what about, I'm not saying he's going to win. Mackenzie Hughes almost won a golf tournament a couple weeks ago. He's 350 to 1.
Hey, Lanto's
crazy numbers.
Lanto.
Yeah, we like our boy Lanto. I'll tell you though, I'm telling you, I'm going to throw a couple bucks on some of these bombs like KH Lee or one of these guys, man. These prices are out of control.
There's going to be, I will guarantee you that someone 150 to 1 or higher
is going to be leading, or
will be knee deep in contention teeing off Sunday morning.
I agree with
that. Guaranteed.
I agree. You know, else is playing a lot better. I know we can't name the whole damn field. Jason Kokrak at 150 is actually figuring it out. I don't think he's there yet, but
by the way, there was a Keith Mitchell sighting over the weekend.
I know, and he was horrible the week before. That's the thing, man. Like some guys, they could flip a switch, and he actually found his game. He's 200 to 1. Keith Mitchell.
You know what? Oh no! You said you can't name them all.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Kevin Nod 100. Remember he had a chance to win this thing back when he had the swing yips.
Yeah, that's true. 125 to 1. There's some wicked prices out there. Yeah. I'm going to avoid the chalk. If you're going to take chalk, that's the thing. Like, let's get down to business. Jon Rahm's your guy. Like, it's Jon Rahm versus Rory. You take Rahm at 12. I can't take Fleetwood. Pass. Yeah,
Rahm and him. I mean, of the favorite.
Yeah, Ramen. That's what I'm going to be eating if I can't hit a hockey total.
Ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles. I'm such idiots. That's it. I love it. Good old ramen. Five for $1 sounds right to me, buddy. 12 to 1 for Rahm and 28 to 1 for him.
All right, kid. Here I'm swinging. I've talked myself into these two right now, as I love when we do this because it works. Kisner,
yes,
125 to 1. Sung Kang, 150 to 1. And and Brendan Todd at 250. And have at it and then reload on Friday.
I like it. You know who actually I might take a shot with because of the prices now?
I know who you're going to say. I got it. You ready?
Yep.
You're going to say Matt Wallace.
He was my second guy I was going to take. Victor Hovland. You read me like a book. Victor Hovland, 100 to 1. The guy he's starting to get it together. You're getting Victor Hovland at 100 to 1 now? That's stupid. Now that's a good price for Victor Hovland. Not 30 or 40 to 1. I'll take him at a nice smooth 100.
By the way, Wallace went to the PGA Tour last year. There's a learning curve, and guys, it takes forever.
For sure.
Was Tyrell his 60th PGA Tour event? Wallace went over there last year. I think he learned the ropes a little bit. And I think his game, he hits it a mile. I think his game's coming around a little bit. But
I agree. He's not there yet, but at 175 to 1, he'll be making my card for sure. I'm going to take two guys, and And, you know,
who was the other guy? I interrupted you. Wallace, and who was the other guy?
Victor Hovland at 100 to 1.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, no, I like where you're going, too, with Sung Kang. I think that's insane for that price with his current form, too, Brian. Those are guys – basically what I'm going to do is all these guys 100 more, you could split up your units, right? And I could take like 4 to 6 guys with that type of price, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then we could reload over the weekend if something looks good. But the only favorites I'm going to take, I'm definitely with you. I like M and I like Rahm. 12 to 1 for Rahm and 28 to 1 for our boy Rahm M. Those are the guys. Everybody else is going to be probably 80 to 100 plus.
All right, wrap it up with this. It depends on the wind. Disaster lurks all over the place. High risk, high reward. But the one thing, the guy that wins this thing, you got to be nails on the green. I mean, you got to be constantly making 8-footers for par. And honestly, that's what Kang was doing all weekend. I mean, he was just pouring in putts. I mean, for 3 days, he was doing mini fist bumps. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, when he saved a par, gave himself a little fist bump. The kid's into it.
Yeah, no, he is, and that's why Hatton won. I'll tell you something, Brian. Your Hatton bets, they look a lot better to me now. The fact that he closed the door with a guy like Mark Leishman breathing down your neck and the hottest player in the world, Sungjae M, there. That guy showed me a lot of guts on Sunday to close out that tournament.
Honestly, if he won that tournament, and like I said, he's from 150. I got him at 150. He's down to 80. But he won that tournament with the trouble that he was getting himself into. I mean, brutal conditions, right?
Yep.
And he gutted it out. You know, the thing about the Masters is, you know, if you hit it awry at the Masters, you know, you're in pine straw. I mean, you can recover more often than not.
Yep.
It's about leaving yourself on the right level of greens and stuff. But if he survived that kind of trouble, I'm stoked about my Hatton play. And the first guy I picked was Fitzpatrick. And to me, it's all about peaking at the right time. I think either one of those guys is going to contend in the Masters. I really do.
No, you're right. And I've been for a guy that's been down. Remember when I was covering it for multiple stations and they had me work, I walked that course. And I'll tell you, the thing about Augusta, it's side hill lies, weird lies. Like the fairway, the TV, I don't care if you got it a super HD TV, whatever, nothing is flat. Everything's on an angle. And as long as you can hit a side hill lie, which Ty Hatton can, and you're right, he can get out of danger. Man, I'm telling you, Brian, I love that pick at that price right now. This guy, too, more confidence under his belt. If you could close the door of that type of tournament, if he's there at Augusta, I have the ability. I think he has the ability to say, you know what, I've done this before. I've done it on the European Tour. I've done it in America now. I could do it anywhere.
All right. Got to love it. The weather conditions are going to be big. Let's see what shakes out. But got to love this tournament. I love the new schedule, Cam.
Me too.
I mean, they're big tournaments all over the place now.
Florida Swing has become, honestly, after this, like it's rejuvenated my love for golf. And I got to be honest with you, the California Swing, I like the views at Pebble Beach and stuff, but nothing will compare to this type of golf. And I'm so happy. The last 2 weeks have been the most enjoyable golf, with guys actually making mistakes, guys grinding, pars are good. It's playing like it's U.S. Open, and that's my favorite. So kudos to the PGA Tour. They did a great job. Last 2 tournaments were great. Let's hope the Players is too. Weather
forecast Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty much every day the same. It looks like partly sunny, partly cloudy kind of thing. No precipitation listed, and the wind kicks up a little on the weekend to the 12-mile-an-hour range on the weekend. So the weather looks good.
No, the weather looks very good. Very good. I got no problem. Actually, Brian, for the guys that we have, though, sometimes wouldn't we want the weather to be a little bit more windy, to bring more guys into it? But we'll see.
Hey, don't kid yourself. But a 12-mile-an-hour wind usually means gusts to 20.
Yeah, so that's good call.
Don't think the wind won't have its moments on the weekend.
No, good call. Good call. Yeah, we're going grenade hunting, as you say, Brian. Lots of guys all over the board. But we're going to start things off. So who do we got? So Rahm, M for me, a little bit of Hovland, a little bit of Wallace, and a Sung Kang spotting. I think that's how I'm going to start my portfolio this week at the Players.
Sounds like a plan, man. It's going to be fun. The 5th major, the Players Championship.
Betmaker, let's make some money tonight.
Well, that's the Betmaker Show for now. We publish multiple times each week. We'd like to thank you for listening, and if you liked what you heard, please take a moment to leave a rating and review, or subscribe to our show feed, or share our show with a friend or two and help us grow the show. We very much appreciate it. Visit us on the web at betmaker.com. And reminder to sign up for the newsletter. Thanks to our engineer, Darren Vandermolen, and producer, Mike Gallivan. The Betmaker Show is a production of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated. Betmaker is a registered trademark. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this content without the express written consent of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At Betmaker.com and The Betmaker Show, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.